Enolia, Finding My Voice with My Grandmother Elder, is the book that I wrote to talk about a journey that I've taken in my life. Each of us reaches a precipice in our life, a place where we crescendo when we look in the mirror, but we don't like what we see. We question ourselves and we say, how did we get here? What did we do? I did everything that I was supposed to do. I did everything my parents taught me to do. I did everything that I was taught by society and industry to do. I should be happy, but I'm not. How did I get here looking in that moment, in that mirror where my life is good, I shouldn't be complaining, but there's something missing. Something is missing in my soul. What do you do when you come to this moment? When you come to that moment of understanding that you do not like what you've become. My book is about the decision point that I made when I reached this precipice. It is the crossroads that I came to that basically says, am I going to embrace the desires of my heart, or am I going to continue down the path by which brought me here to this precipice that I don't like? What happens when we aspire to be like people we don't even like? So when I reached this moment in my life, I had to find the courage to honor what my soul was longing for. How do we dare to shift our lives? How do we dare to change our perspective on life? This is what Enolia, Finding My Voice with My Grandmother's Elders, is all about. It is about reaching that precipice and no longer wanting to lie to myself that I'm not happy. No longer wanting to go down a pathway that was expected of me versus what I longed for. And a lot of times we long for things and we're not quite sure how to get there. And so in making a different decision of basically reaching out to a grandmother elder, I never knew that I would embark on a journey that would change and shift the rest of my life. The reason that this book is here is because so many of us take this journey. So many of us reach a precipice where we are here in life and we look in the mirror and we're not liking where we are or what we see. We're feeling stuck. We're feeling put up against the wall. We're feeling like there's so many people dependent upon me, I can't change. Learn from my story. This book was written so that you can learn how I stumbled on embarking, shifting, and learning something so new that has been there forever. Ancient ways, traditions, indigenous approach, indigenous viewpoint, and how my limited, narrow view had to be expanded, and how I tripped into expanding it, because nothing comes with ease and grace. Nothing comes without a challenge. And to challenge myself and stepping up to this place meant that I would embrace being vulnerable, and that I had to learn that my vulnerabilities were my strengths. I had to learn the lessons of life that shared with me from the indigenous, how to navigate through life, how to love what I see, how to embrace the fact that I can make a mistake and I can recuperate it and I can make the corrections and I can open my heart and I would be okay, that I don't have to put on a facade and that I don't have to put on a mask. I would never have to worry about taking the courage and finding it within myself if I embarked on my dreams. Dream a beautiful dream or you will be dreamt. The book is about being able to dare to step into that dream, navigate all that I'm fearful of, to come to where I am no longer being dreamt. And in other words, I am no longer fulfilling what other people expect of me, perceive of me, and want of me, but that I'm honoring my soul's calling. And I'm actually working to do and discover what it is I want to do in life and how I choose to navigate in life. I want to read to you a quick section from the book, just so that you can understand what it meant and how that calling felt. I was placed in a new position without consideration with the responsibilities suited to my strength. The daily work environment degraded slowly and became more hostile. Everyone was concerned for their job, for their jobs were on the chopping block, and they all whispered about who would be the latest casualty. The undercurrent of fear, combined with pure dissatisfaction I felt about how I was living my life, opened a window of opportunity for me to see myself clearly. I resented the feeling of being forced to stay trapped in a job I no longer loved or even liked. People and responsibilities were shuffled around or abolished completely. The new director told me she was moving me to a role for which I had no skill set, meaning I would start from zero. My stomach twisted, thinking about all of my proven strengths that would no longer go unused. That would go unused, excuse me. She then informed me that one of my responsibilities was to groom a new manager, one who had never managed anything and would be my manager when I finished training her. I asked the director if I had to take on this role. She shrugged and stated there were many people being laid off, and if I didn't want it, someone else would gladly take it. Her words were like a slap across my face. I was a seasoned manager who had managed teams of up to 100 people. I felt trapped, angry, abused, and used. My hard work didn't count. My education didn't count. My skills didn't count. My enthusiasm for the work didn't count. I felt shattered to the core of my soul. As I stood at this crossroads, I had a realization that I should be able to enjoy my life and the pleasure of pursuing a dream. I should be able to feel pure satisfaction and passion for what I do. I longed to let go of this bottomless stress I felt in my body, to let go of all the expectations of what roles were supposed to be like, to actually pursue something I love, something that embraced my values and contributed to humanity. Something had to change. Somewhere along the line, I had taken on society's mandate that sacrifice was what constitutes the perfect mother, wife, employee, etc. at the age of 46. I chose to reestablish ground rules for my entire life. So I'll leave it at that. I think that we've all come to this moment. And the reason that this book is here is because we've all come to this moment and we feel like we're alone. We've all come to this moment and we have no one to talk to and we have no one to share this with, to say, what do I do? How do I do it? And how do I change it? And if by my story, someone can listen to it, read it, feel it, understand it, and learn from it, and learn the lessons that I learned, and not have to go through some of the pains that I went through, I gladly share it. Again, we all come through this precipice of life, this moment in time, and we just don't know what to do. So I invite you to read Enolia, Finding My Voice with my grandmother elder, and learn how I navigated through that moment and how it changed my life. And also, in addition with Enolia, finding my sovereign voice with my grandmother elder, is the compatible workbook, the compatible journal, of which I actually go through each chapter and I summarize the lessons that I had to learn. And then I ask you questions so that you can reflect within your life and your circumstance. And the compatible workbook is called Enolia. Discover Your Sovereign Self. And it's the workbook for Enolia. So with this, I want to leave you with one thought. If you do not discover and stand in your sovereign and authentic truth, you will live your life fulfilling what other people perceive, judge, and see you as. Stand in your truth. Honor your soul's calling. Don't ignore what your heart desires. Because once you do, you lead the way for so many others. So thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.